Welcome back to my channel. Jonathan Jones here, clarinetist, beat maker, world music, didgeridoo, you name it. But today, we're really talking about the clarinet because it is our intensive study month of the Mozart Clarinet Concerto. If you haven't checked out my other video, the first video in this series, should probably label it as a series, please check it out because it is the starting video of the series, and now I'm looking for my next strap. Side note, side comment. I'll be right back. Is if you don't use a neck strap, that's fine. And you know, I do. And I mean, these muscles did not get built from playing clarinet. And however, I don't really need them to play clarinet. So I don't care if you have big muscles, small muscles, girl, boy, in the middle, whoever you are. Clarinet can take a toll on your body. It can take a toll on your thumb. It can take a toll, I mean, especially as you get older. It just takes a toll on your body. You don't always know how it does. But word to the wise, you know, if you find yourself doing a lot of this when you're playing, even though Michael Lostern has the dark art of clarinet playing, which I love, this is not a great thing to do, even though we've all done it. So if you see me doing it, catch me, comment, please tell me to stop that. Anyways, we're here today. I just started my practice session a little bit ago. And the whole idea here with the Mozart is intensive study. Now, I've studied the piece my whole life, obviously. Who hasn't? But in particular, I have not studied the third movement, the rondo, deeply. I, prepared it here or there for auditions or, back in the day, but I haven't performed it. And so that's really my main focus in my preparation. I'm going to master the memorization of the rondo since I'm less familiar with that, and then kind of work backwards almost, So today I'm working on memorization, and the big question is, how do you memorize music? Well, there's a lot of theories about it, maybe, but this is mine, and it really works for me, honestly, and it's very simple. So step one is kind of dates back. I'm actually a great friend of mine, Brian Conger, who I actually went to high school with in the Texas area. He's a fantastic clarinetist. We talked about this, and he was playing the Clarinet Concerto in college, and he actually said that Clarinet was just freaking mesmerized that he played his concerto from memory because he was there in the audience. He won the concerto competition at U of H while he was a student there, and I was even blown away. I mean, he was several years to my senior, and I looked up to him as like a mentor in a way. And I was like, wow, man, like, how did you do that? I mean, that was so impressive. I have yet to even play the Clarinet Concerto. It's on my bucket list. That first lick, man, I'll tell you what. But he focused on this, and he said, look, first you have to listen to the piece. You need to listen to the piece just up and down, left and right. You need to know the piece by ear. Just kind of like your favorite song on the radio, or even if it's not your favorite song, you can't help but hear it just over and over and over. I mean, you know those songs I'm talking about. So they're just ingrained into your mind. Whether you know it or not, you sing along when you hear it. And that's definitely step one. So if you're trying to memorize a piece and you don't really know what it's supposed to sound like, and you don't know it by heart, first, then you're really behind. You need to do that first. So I've listened to Mozart Clarinet Concerto since I was a little boy. And so I know the piece. I know how it goes. So that's kind of step one. If you haven't done that, make sure you do that. Now, if it's something new you can't do that with, we can skip that. And I would say the next second step, which is the very most important, is just to play the piece. You need to be able to play the piece and know the piece. Now, I believe you could get into an argument whether if you want to memorize it as you learn it, that's definitely a topic of discussion. And if you were to do that, it really goes along with the same technique that I'm about to talk about. It's very simple. It's not complicated. Number one, I think you need to look at the music. So I just started, and I already did this section at G if you're following along in your part. But I'm gonna play that for you. I'm gonna kind of demonstrate it just to even practice it a couple more reps, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the music. I want you to select maybe an 8 to 16 bar section, not too little, not too big, just right. And I want you to just play it with the music, stare at it, study it, look at the intervals, look at the arpeggios, analyze what's going on in the music even. Just get to know what's on the page. So let's do that. Let's say you take that section, about, what is that, 8 measures? So I looked at it. Let's say you do that once or twice, just staring at the music, right? Now, after the third or so time, I want you just to kind of test yourself and just kind of look away every so often. Okay, so I already practiced this, so I'm kind of cheating. But now, the third, fourth times, challenge yourself to 100% look away. But now, if you need to, take a little glance over. Okay, so vice versa. Right, first, make sure you can play it while glancing away. Then make sure you can play at it, and if you need to, glance at it. And if you don't need a glance, then don't glance. So I'm going to test this out. I'm going to do one more time on the next section. Whoops, and don't be afraid to make a mistake. But when you do, take a good look at what happened and study it. Look at it again. Reverse. Look at it. Okay, good. So now, this will be a brand new section for me. So I'm going to go ahead and play the next section. I'll kind of determine how much I want to try to memorize. And that's what happens when you play low F with a register key. A C comes out. And actually, let's go ahead and spice this up a little bit. I have my practicing beat, which you could call a metronome. I'll show you why I call it a beat here in a little bit. I encourage you to practice with the beat, with a little bit of a rhythm going. We'll get more into that later. In the meantime, and I'm going to turn the beat off because I realize it probably doesn't sound that great on your end. Don't want to bass you guys out too hard. This mirror is really staring me in the face. So let's try that again. Gosh, do I have a traditional metronome? I did the same thing yesterday in my video. Let's bring back a little something. That's enough like a metronome. Okay, let's go back to this again. See, that's already too much. I already know. Like, here's the thing. Don't over challenge yourself. Like, this is like a very big practicing tip. If practicing is hard, you're doing it wrong. Okay? It should be easy, effortless. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make mistakes. Practicing should be easy. Like right now, I was just sitting there saying, Jesus, that's a lot to play. Am I going to remember all that? Now, maybe I could. Now, I could push myself. I'm sure I could. That's fine. But let's take it easy. Let's just do that first part. Let's do the first part. One more time. That's enough. For now, whatever. So let's do it again. Maybe looking away slightly. Let's analyze it. We got the C, we got the intro. F, tonic, tonic, mi, tonic. Okay. And then it goes to C, which would be the tonic. So it's like fa, do. Okay. Interesting. And of course, if you know from my last video, this section is the I'm a barbarian. I don't know. Don't touch me. Get over here, little girl. I don't know. That sounds really weird. Sorry. But that's just like I'm making some crazy stuff up. This is what I encourage my students to do. Make a story to what you're doing. This is my story for this. So let's try that one more time. So now, we'll turn that down a little bit. Now let's do it by looking away just a little bit. If you can look away a little more, do it. That means you're already ready. Let's try it one more time and get the articulation better on that. One more time. There it is. It's like I got it already. Now, before we add any more, let's go back to what we did earlier. And see what happened. Let's look at it. And there it is. And what happened? I'm spacing out. Dun dun dum, jump dun dun dun. And there it is. So naturally, I did better on the section that I just worked on more. I forgot stuff on the stuff I did earlier. So what I would do, of course, I'm going to continue doing the same thing. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already getting there. So what I'm going to do is keep going, do the same thing on the next section. So what I would do at this exact point, let's reevaluate. This section went good. I would probably do the exact same thing, just to ingrain it a couple more times. Maybe even taking the entire section with the music, looking away a little bit, and then eventually vice versa, not looking away, and then eventually, looking away all the way. I would do it again. And then here's the other key. You can't memorize that much music in one day. I think my goal today is going to be to get to the end of this, right where the fermata is. That's my goal for today. That adds an extra page. And then I only have, 2 pages left. What do you know? So it's going really quick. I just started yesterday. And I'm going to, we'll see. I don't want to push it. Like I said, don't push it in your practicing. If it's not easy, you're doing it wrong. So that means if you're playing your scales and you're sloppy, go slower. Go slower. Most students do not know how slow to go. Go way slower than you need to. Master it. It needs to be easy. Then bump it up a little bit. Find where it's a little bit difficult. Back it back down, etc. Okay. Hopefully you learned something from my practicing techniques today. But as far as memorizing music goes, it's really more about the process. It's as long as you trust the process and you implement the process, it is not hard. It just takes literally time. I mean, you could almost do it mindlessly, almost. You just soak it in. And so best of luck in your practicing. I hope this really helps you guys in marching band memorize your marching music. Whatever it is you guys are doing, good luck. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, and I'll look for you on the next video. Ciao.